So, I have with me tonight the exceptionally talented Mr. Ray Nicholas. Now, I'm hoping that he shows up on camera because much like a ghost, a vampire, or any other kind of supernatural being, he is quite hard to catch on film. You can't see it here, Ray, but I've got some infrared light on the screen here. I've got some PKE meters set up to register supernatural activity. So even if we just end up with a grainy voice file like on Ghost Hunters, that'll do. And then we'll fix it in post, mate. You know what I mean? How are you doing, bud? You all right?
I'm all right, brother.
Surviving the lockdown madness.
I'm doing okay, mate. I'm kind of utilising the time to get on with things because usually I'm all over the place. I'm up and down the country, and life gets in the way. So I'm using this moment to catch up on the writing, because I've been doing several scripts over the years. I've gone back over them, right, and I've kind of tightened them up and I've kind of modernised them. And there's one I'm working on at the moment. It's called Delstrom. Once I get that done, I'm then going to jump onto the sculpting because I can sculpt. Right? It's funny because when I say to people, "Oh, I can sculpt," they go, "Oh, really?" Because you kind of clock your face. Right? You go, "Oh, really?" And they expect like a three-legged dog with a curly tail. You know, oh, the pig, no, it's a dog, it's a dog. But I can actually sculpt. I got offered a job years and years ago with a special effects company. He liked the work I'd done, sculpted, and he said, "What you need to do," he said, "you can go away and learn to paint." He said, "Because what we do, we start off with the creation of the creature. We pass something over to the individual sculptor, and you say, listen, design something, make something, and you sculpt it. They send it away and get it molded and bring it back, right? And then you, because it's in your head, you paint it." But I couldn't paint. My brother's an artist. I'm not. I'm a sculptor. So I thought, do you know what? No, I had other things. By then I was kicking into the stunt work. And I've done a thing called Penny Dreadful, which is a great series. I'm very underrated.
You got me on the last season, Ray. You got me on season 3, and I'm forever grateful. We had a great time on that.
You worked with that, didn't you? It was fantastic
awesome.
Thing. Right? Fantastic series. And the Irish stunt lads were fantastic. And the stunt women, right? And it brought you some of the stuff here. So I was luckily, I worked with a guy called Peter Miles, stunt coordinator, and I was doing the fight choreography on that. So I'll be able to, I could let loose, I could do my own thing, right? Which was a bit difficult, because a bit weird, because modern fight, you can use elbows and lock techniques and knees and jumping elbows. It looks fantastic. Superman, hey, there you go in the air. It looks fantastic. But you couldn't, because this was based in Victorian times. So you can't be doing Superman through the air or spinning back kicks.
Not really, no.
Not really, slightly out of place, yeah. So you're kind of limited. But we've done okay. It was gritty as well, real and gritty. So headbutts and gouging and things like that. So
well, I enjoyed that, Ray. And I was on one fight scene that you coordinated, which was the opening scene on season 3, which was when Sir Malcolm, Timothy Dalton, James Bond, or the Green Baron from Flash Gordon. I think that's his defining role to me. That was awesome. And Wes Studi, Mogwai from Last of the Mohicans, who did a fucking awesome impersonation of you as well. But it was a good shoot, but a really hard one. And Winston was on that one, Winston Ellis, Connor as well, Connor Hegarty. And forgive me, there was so many on there. My mind's a bit puddled. I've been hitting the head a few times since then. Blah. Anyway, it was a great group of lads. You coordinated the fight scene, and I got to partake in that one. And yeah, that was, all the fight scenes through Penny Dreadful.
The werewolf things, the werewolf aspect with the two of them.
I was on the werewolf one as well briefly, but I'm talking about the one in the alleyway where Sir Malcolm gets jumped by the Zanzibar thugs, and you had oh my gosh, what's your friend from over there? Really talented stunt lady.
Ema?
Yes, Ema. You know, where she's playing she draws him in, doesn't she? Pretending to have the baby, and Sir Malcolm gets suckered in, and then all the lads are around him, and then Kietne, which is where Studi's character turns up and does everyone in and ends up stabbing him in the throat.
Surprise, he jumps right in the middle, starts slicing people, and it's good that.
It was a cracking fight scene, right? Yeah. But I mean, I'm going to talk quickly about. I'm going to come back more to what you've done in a bit, mate. But I mean, fight choreography, right? That's definitely your forte, and I can almost, and I'm not being. You've got you put quite your own stamp on it. It's always visceral. It always sort of pops off the screen. You put together some really cool looking stuff. I know you've got a background in real life martial art. You were a really good amateur boxer. Were you a ABA champion, Ray? Is that right?
Yeah, I boxed since I was a kid. Basically, it was like very, very small, very young age. My father taught me in a classic Liverpool environment, a bit rough, skins, and they kind of all the families, all the kids were taught to box. Right, and my dad taught me to box in the backyard, basically. And even as a young kid, he didn't take any prisoners, put it that way, which I'm grateful for. Right, he didn't mollycoddle me or anything like that, basically. No. I'm in a classic. I was small, I was coming around, moving around, and suddenly, bam, he dumped me from the side. And I looked and was shocked. And he went, whose fault's that? Right? This day and age, people go, oh my God, the whole PC, you shouldn't do that. Right? But that was the environment we grew up in. It was very unforgiving outside of the house. Right? And I looked and I was shocked. And he just looked at me and went, whose fault is that? And I thought about it and I said, mine. And he said, why? That's because I'd let my right hand drop because he caught the left up, bam. And after that, do you know what? It didn't have to do it again, right? I'd throw combinations, bam, bam, and even now, right, it's instinctive. I throw right hand, the left hook, and see, it comes back. Right? It was a shock. It was a lesson. I never forgot. Right? Whenever it happens, that hand comes back up now. So,
purpose. I mean, obviously, you've got that real life experience, and so have I. And I do think that translates massively, massively well to the screen because.
I think you're right there, mate.
Go.
You can tell with the fight scenes put together, even yourself when you move. Right? You see a lot of fight scenes, right? And you watch it, and it's just a choreographed dance.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes you watch things and people do something and they block a punch. You think, how did you know that was going there? You just done this sequence and suddenly your hand went there, that blocked. You carried on thinking. There's no thought or there's no time gap or reaction. It comes in and when a punch comes in, there's a fraction of a second and your brain goes, oh, punch coming in. And it's like a frightening thing. You just get your hand up, bam, and it's in the face and it's in that momentary reaction where you block it, right? So it looks real. So it doesn't go there. I wasn't bothered because I knew it was going there, so I blocked it, right?
Yeah.
If you do a fight, you throw it as fast as you can. But I always emphasise basically when you do your punches, whatever happens, in case the actor or the fellow stuntman forgets and he blocks with this hand instead of that hand, right? You need the ability to stop. That's where boxing comes in handy, right? Basically for years I would pound the bag, right? Bam, 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 the bag swaying, right? And then I do the same routine with the same velocity, the same viciousness, right? In the punches, but stop just a fraction before something. Bam, bam. You think, wow, it's in the face, and you stop just beforehand. So if the actor or your colleague forgets and blocks, it stops just before them. It's like, go again, but no one gets hurt, no one gets a broken cheekbone, busted nose. I emphasise that because you know yourself, we do these.
Oh, Ray, I mean, look at these boy band good looks of mine, mate. I mean, I can't. This is the money making, mate. You know what I'm saying? I can't afford anymore, you know.
Well, you look good, mate. As a mate, would I lie to you? I'm Scouse. Jesus.
I'm afraid to answer that, you know.
So, just like we said, the cherubic looks. That's why I grew this beard, right? To be taken serious, because no one takes me serious jumping at this. You know,
it's such a baby face without the beard, Ray. Yeah, man. Butter wouldn't melt. Oh, cheers, mate. Social distancing beers. Cheers.
Social distancing beers. Cheers, mate.
Well, so that's part of talking about what makes, in my opinion, and in your opinion, like a really great, you know, on-screen fight in terms of choreography. So definitely, I think that real life experience and that ability to convey that, which I do think, you know, to an extent comes naturally or comes more naturally if you've got that real place to draw upon, right? I mean, obviously,
like actors, when you think about it, right?
yeah,
An actor walking the screen, you can do something, and then you can see them do this, portray a fight scene, right? But you can see by the actions, and as soon as they move, you think, you've never been it in your life. You're portraying like you have. But you can tell someone who's been there, right? Who's been there, being there. You see the reactions, you see how the head whips back, and how basically the moment of supposed contact, you see them react to it and think, oh, that looks real. It's in the portrayal, right? But people have never really been hit. I've never been in a real life fight or that kind of situation, right? And all your heart goes up and your breathing goes up in your face, and whenever you move, whenever they move, your eyes follow them. It's panic, it's adrenaline, you're overloaded. You can tell someone who's been there. That's what like yourself and other martial artists who've done a bit of boxing, who've done MMA, who've done kickboxing, who've been in the ring and one-on-one. You can tell the difference between them and somebody who just touches, like, boom, touch bar, and you've never really been it. And you can see, you can get caught out by people who don't look on, right? So it's always advantageous to work with people, right, with a bit of a background on them, which is good. Instead of just coming to school or like in a class, coming in, sparring, touching, there you go. And then even some people, you come along, you can see the good lads, the lads who've actually been there and have gone through a combative course, they've actually got in the ring, put the gloves on, and know what it's like. Then people just come in and they're great in the gym. You know all the routines, they're fantastic. You do fantastic katas, right? But it's not. You get caught out in the portrayal. Once you put a little fight scene, especially myself, a fight scene together, I can tell. Right? They'll take them aside and go, "You never really had a fight, have you?" And they say, "Oh, we've done this. We've done that. I've got this belt." No, you haven't had a fight, have you? You've never been down a back entry, right? Or in the pub car park, right? You can tell. That'd be funny, but you can tell that I've been there.
You'll like you've had a couple of car park rashes in your time, Ray. Yeah, mate. No, I'm not. I'm probably dished a few out.
Cricket bats, you name it, have been done, right? You wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so. No. Do you know what? Wow. Okay. So, sorry, brother. There is the element of, like you said, the realism and what have you. Now, although that does come more naturally if you've got that personal experience to draw upon, when you are doing the choreography for film and TV, something that I found is you do have to make everything bigger, because if you stay poker faced and you stay tight, it looks shite on film. You do. It's really weird.
You might look good when the guy hits you, massive punch, and he winds up in his face. He goes, oh, and he sells it, bang, and you simply go. It nullifies all that effort he's put in.
Yeah,
right. I think, was that it? That's the reaction you've got. No, in reality, that would hit you. Your head, your cheek, boom, your head would fly back. Right? And if you do that, that enhances his fighting capabilities or his moves. People go, oh, that's good, without painful. If you play it down and you don't react to it, it kind of nullifies the whole thing. It dampens it down.
That's a large part of the job. I'm talking. Another one of these interviews that I've got is with Dave Pownall, or Dave Rain, as he's known in the ring, who jumped on The Village, season 2 of The Village with us, which you ended up filming. I'll come back to that because that was a great do. Dave's a professional wrestler. He's trained after WWE roster, the current WWE roster at the moment, and he's worked with a lot of the greats in that industry. And he'll tell you, because that is one of the things where the pro wrestling and the fight choreography for screen and film and TV cross over. There's a couple of sections. One is that the ability to make the other guy look good, the ability to sell properly, that is massive. And the other one is storytelling within a fight. Now, this is something also I like about, without blowing smoke, about your fight scenes. You were discussing earlier about the kind of fight scenes and the kind of movements that you picked for Penny Dreadful, and how they would differ from, say, if you were on, I don't know, Born Identity or something, to pull it out of the air. It's choosing movements that do fit the character's persona, and it's storytelling within that fight. And like you said, everything's been done. Everything's been done to death. Now, don't get me wrong. You can I love. I think the best guy out there at the minute, in my opinion, is Scott Adkins. I had the same conversation with Lee Charles on another interview. Lee's worked with him a lot, and Scott has that incredible, mind-blowing sort of gymnastic ability. Yeah, but he does have that visceral edge. He's got the physique. He's got everything to sell it. Yeah, and it's like a nice blend, that, right? But what I'm saying is, the other thing is, with all of Scott's films, take the film Avengement, where Lee and Connor and Dolan, who we worked with on Badlands and Penny Dreadful, they were in it as well. That's up for a Taurus Award now for the best fight scene, the end fight in Avengement. And it is cracking. We thoroughly enjoyed that. We both watched that movie. I think we watched it together, didn't we? It was good. It was really good. Yeah. And like that end fight scene, that is one that I would have. That's the sort of thing I'd have put down to yourself. It had those moments of flash and flare, right? But it had all that really visceral quality to it, and it made you care. It drew you in, and that's the other thing that with Dave and the pro wrestling, when I've trained with him, and he's talked about storytelling in the matches and bringing the crowd in, and emotionally involving them. Everyone's desensitized, especially these days. We've got social media all over the place. You're seeing explosions and flips and crazy stuff all the time, and everyone gets a bit desensitized. So, yeah, we still want that. We still want that wow factor, but you've got to give them a reason to care. Because at the end of the day, as I say, for real life fighting to my students, I do show them advanced techniques and things like that, my beginners, because I think it's important to show where the game can go. But we always focus on basics. And what I've always said is basics done right are fancy. Basics done right get the job done in real life. Basics done right on the screen get the job done. And then you can put an exclamation point on it if you have that ability, if you have that at your disposal. But you need to draw someone in first. And I think that's something that you're really good at doing. Again, I know you too well to blow smoke. We don't need to go through all that crap. But I can usually watch one of your movies and I can usually tell that you've had a hand in the fight choreography. Usually because it's so fucking phenomenally violent. It's like, usually if it's one of them programs that comes on with a warning, the following program contains scenes that viewers may find disturbing. It's more like, Ray Nick choreographed the following fight scenes, right? The only time we've ever been surprised about this is me and Winston Ellis. On Penny Dreadful, on that said fight scene that we were talking about earlier, me and Winston were chatting, and we talked about the TV show Banshee. And I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's worth a look. It's all done and dusted now. I think it's about 3 seasons of it, but it's spectacular. It's full of sex. It's full of violence. But the fight scenes in particular were that vicious and nasty that both me and Winston had said the same thing. We were both watching this thing, checking the credits, going, surely Ray had to be a part of this. And we were really surprised it wasn't you. And forgive me, mate, I can't remember who the fight coordinator on Banshee was, but A, he's really good, and B, the two of you should never fucking meet, because it might be like the gatekeeper and the keymaster in Ghostbusters when they get together.
Yeah,
maybe that's the next thing,
Yeah, have a go with that.
Definitely.
Now, with Winston mentioned that to me a while ago. He says very good, very impressive. So, bit of a compliment. Appreciate it, boys.
No,
thank you very much.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, mate? Then on, I mean, do you have anything to add on that in terms of storytelling in the fight, the type of techniques that you'll select, or leaving room for actor moments, or?
You were talking to them before, John, right? But when I was training years ago to get my equity card, right? So to get the equity card and then apply for the stunt register, try to be a stuntman, right? We ended up doing this wrestling, right? Wrestling for this guy. We had to go and learn. A good friend of mine, Thomas Singleton, and he was a bodybuilder, fantastic physique, blonde hair, and he was a good-looking lad, and he looked the part, right? And what he done was he put us in this little ring in this like working men's club. Right, and if you stood in the ring, you had to duck because it was like elected the Pope. It was just smoke. Everyone was like the old days. Everyone drinking.
I've just got to jump in there, mate. I've got footage of my early kickboxing fights in working men's clubs all over the north of England, right? And I swear to God, man, it's like someone's had a dry ice machine on, and it's the cigarette cigar smoke. It's a Wednesday night, right? And sometimes it was like that John Carpenter movie, The Fog. You know what I mean? Whoom, descends. And I'm like, what's coming out of this at me? I was trying to see my opponent through the smoke. It was just, yeah, I've been there, bro.
It sounds like a joke, but it's true. You go up the stairs, you duck under the rope, you stand up and go, where's he going? You got to go like that, just all the smoke over the night is built up. And it was horrible. I was doing this wrestling with Tommy. I mean, introduced him, obviously. Tommy's a good looking lad. He brought him, and they introduced him, and he was, and this is so, and I played the villain. I don't know how I got to play the villain.
I don't know how you got typecast there, Ray.
I don't know, mate. Well, obviously, we went off, and we rehearsed and practicing like all the moves, and we learned them. Right? I mean, Tommy's a gymnast. Right? Bizarre. He's fantastic physique. You think he'd be muscle man, but he could do back somersaults and everything. He could do jumping in the air, kicks. Great. So I was doing all the dirty stuff, like the gouge and the headbutts and the people, boom, terrible. And you're talking about bringing people in, right? I was doing naughty stuff, and the referee, and I'd point to someone in the crowd, they'd look away, and I'd headbutt them, and they go, boo, he's behind you. And I go, whoa, what? Right? So he hated me. And at one stage, I remember, I've got him down, and I'm twisting, I've got him on his belly, and I've got him down on his knees backwards, and I'm twisting his foot, breaking it, right? And in the end, it's a big kerfuffle, and the referee comes over. And I don't know. I'm my back's to the crowd. I'm playing the part, right? And what it was, this old woman had got in the ring with a bottle. Was going, so bringing people in, right? And so she got so convinced, she climbed up, ducked up, crawled on the bottom rope with a bottle, with a bottle, and he had to dive on it and take the bottle off her. So that's like basically bringing people in, bringing them in.